By the end of this video, I am going to show you, okay, signs, universal signs that explain that he likes you and wants a relationship, or signs you should look for at least. And I'm also going to give you signs that I think are very deceiving that guys like to throw at a woman to make it look like he wants a relationship, but he doesn't. Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below, caress it, make love to it, along with the bell notification. It can sit there and watch. I don't care. Just make sure to push the buttons. And if this is your first time around, ladies, what is going on? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott. And again, I want to give you all the information you need today, okay? And if I'm looking down, this is why. I have my notes right here. So I'm going to jump right in just so you guys can, you know, get the information you need and skedaddle. So I want to talk about the 3 signs that a lot of women go after, or a lot of women look at and they're like, okay, yeah, this guy likes me. But that's not the case, ladies. You all fall for these signs. You fall for them all the time, okay? And the first one I have here is that is what he says. Now listen, when a guy says something to you, I'm not saying there's no genuine like interest or there's no truth behind it, but you should take it with a grain of salt, especially if it's in the beginning. And the reason I say this is it's much easier to tell a woman something than to actually follow through with actions and efforts. It's very easy for 2 reasons. One, when you say something to a woman, it's what I call direct context, meaning there's no other way she should decipher it than what he's actually saying, unless he's lying. But that's the problem, you don't really know. And secondly, direct context, meaning it's straightforward, right? If I say I like you, I like you. You shouldn't think otherwise unless I'm lying. And the other reason I think it's a very bad thing to dictate his interest is you're going to justify it. He knows you're going to justify this. He knows you like him. He knows you're interested. He knows what you want. And that's what women don't understand. Men know that the average woman wants a relationship. So he knows what to feed you. And if he doesn't want to put the effort into it, and he knows that you're interested, he's going to say, yeah, I like you too. This is great. You're such an amazing woman. Okay? And it's going to be easy for him to do all that in the beginning. And you're going to justify it, okay, because you like him. You're going to think, well, why would he be lying to me? Well, you're going to find out soon, okay? So the second thing I have here is how he acts in the beginning. Ladies, I tell you this all the time. If you're new here, you're about to learn something. Whether a guy wants to get in your pants or a guy wants a relationship, either or, he is going to invest a lot in the beginning. And if he just doesn't, then he's just not interested. He's bullshitting you and you should let him go. But either or, I always say, slow it down, because the agreements, right? From an evolutionary perspective, the agreement of courtship is reciprocal investment. A guy knows I have to invest in a woman to get what I want. To some extent, there's some women who just put out. There's some people who just agree with being friends with benefits. That's fine. But a guy knows I have to invest to get something in return, right? At least with a woman of standards and value. So whether he's trying to get in your pants or he's trying to have a relationship, he is going to blow up your phone. He is going to say nice things. He is going to text you first, the good morning, the good nights, ask to see you, right? But you gotta take all that with a grain of salt because of number 3 here. The number 3 reason of things that I don't think you should go or base his attraction on is context in the beginning. Now, if you're not familiar with my definition of context, or what context is, I have a very good explanation of it in my course, Attraction Academy. Link is just down below. You click it, buy the course. It's going to give you a lot of detail on attracting men, sticking out, and getting men hooked, even men who pull away, okay? So if you want that, that's down below. But context to me is the things that you guys do and say, or even the lack of, that kind of layer up and create this vibe of seriousness amongst the relationship, okay? And so a lot of women might run into the challenge of women will come to me and say, well, Elliot, he showed a lot of attention and a lot of interest in the beginning, and now he's pulling away. Why is that? Well, it could be because of context, meaning there was no serious vibe in the beginning. It was two people talking who were attracted to each other and things like that. But now that you're talking consistently, you're hooking up, you're blowing up each other's phones, even if he's the one initiating it, right? He bites off more than he can choose, or more than he can chew. And you guys are doing all these, maybe you meet his friends, maybe you leave stuff over his place, maybe he talks about future trips or love bombs, whatever it is, the context builds up and it creates this vibe, right, of seriousness, of pressure. And with this, a guy who's not wanting a relationship or freaks out, maybe he's emotionally unavailable, I don't know. He says, oh shit, if I keep on complying, it's telling her I'm on the same page as her when I'm not. And so then he has a conflict, a fork in the road, and he thinks, well, should I go this way and dip, or ignore you, or ghost, or whatever, pull away, or should I keep following through? And that's dictated on his interest, what he wants, and if he's in his own head or not. So these three things are things you should not go after or dictate his attraction on. Now, on the opposite end, I have here things you should dictate his attraction on, or that he is looking for a relationship. And the first one is context and history. Okay, and what I mean by this is, if women don't like when I say this, but it's the truth. And I'm not saying bombard him with questions, but if he hasn't dated anyone in 5 years, and you think you're miraculously going to come along and be the woman who changes that, you're probably not. If he's newly single, he was out of a relationship 3 to 6 months ago, or he's newly divorced and he's out of a 15-year, 10-year marriage and he's only been out for a year, you're probably not going to get a relationship out of this guy. Or if this guy has a history of doing this, or he's done it to you before, or he comes and goes, like anything like that, you just have to understand history and context, okay? If there's a 10-year age gap, something along these lines. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but the more of this shit that layers up, the less likely you're going to get a relationship out of the guy, okay? A lot of women will come to me and they'll be like, well, I understand. Get out here, cat. I understand what you're saying. I understand, Elliot, but he told me he loved me. I'm like, I don't give a shit what he says. If you guys have been talking for 2, 3, 4 months and he still hasn't committed, there's a problem. It gets to the point, again, context, he's buying time. Like, if he's not committing and he's telling you, like, can you just give me more time, or I'm newly single, or I'm just stressed with work, or I don't know what I want right now, but if I do want something, he's just buying time. He's bullshitting you. You have to understand context and history. If you think, a lot of women think they're the fucking chosen one. If you think you're the chosen one, and that he hasn't dated a woman in the last 3 years, and you think you're going to come around, and you guys already slept together, and you guys have been together for 2 or 3 months, and that things are going to change, that is absolutely not the case. Now, on the other end, if he does seem like, sorry, I keep on checking my hair, it's fly as hell. Now, on the other end, if he is putting a lot of interest in you and efforts, and I'm going to get into that, and he does seem like a healthy guy, and the reason maybe he hasn't been in a relationship because, I don't know, he moved around, and maybe his last one was a year, and he does seem like he wants a healthy, then you're more likely to get one, okay? But if you think you're going to come around and be the game changer, you're not. No woman or man is that special. Just keep that in mind, okay? A lot of women think they're special. A lot of dudes think they're special. They're not. So number 2 is, again, kind of goes off this, is consistency and progression, okay? Attraction is only created through progression. So if he is not progressing, meaning, I tell women, 6 to 8 dates. If you do not have the relationship with the dude, you're out. You're out. You got to cut him off, because anything after that is him buying time. It's him buying time. A guy, ladies, what you don't understand is that a guy doesn't need a lot of time to figure out if you're the one or not, okay? And I don't mean like the one, like Miss Right. Just if you're dating material. In fact, guys know that pretty early on. I'd say within the first couple dates. He just doesn't act on it, because if he acts on it really fast, he's crazy. Just as if you called him out on it, saying, hey, not called him out, but saying, hey, I want a relationship, and it's only date 2, you're gonna freak the dude out. That's why I try to find this middle ground where it's 6 to 8 dates. Now, if the guy is newly divorced, I still don't think you're going to get a relationship, but if you want to wait it out and go for 10 dates before you give them the ultimatum, that's fine. But it's around 6 to 8 dates, I say, is a healthy time where I feel like it's not too fast to call him out. And there's enough time for him to know if you're dating material, as in girlfriend, for you to pop the question. And I don't care what a guy tells you. I don't care what a guy tells you. That is not too fast. A guy knows 6 to 8 dates what he wants to do with you. If at 8 dates you two are still talking, even if it's progressing, and he has not asked for a relationship, there's 2 reasons why. He does not want one, and he's taking you for granted. He knows, I don't have to commit. She's not going anywhere. He doesn't fear losing you, which is why I tell women, you're the one who has to pop the question sometimes. Because I truly believe if a guy likes you, he'll ask you. Why? Because it's like a defensive approach. I need to take her off the market, because if I don't, someone else will. A guy who likes you would not do that, okay? He would not wait it out. Which leads me to my third and final thing. Ladies, this is a very important quote. I say it all the time. If a guy truly likes you, he will not put himself in a position to lose you. So if you're watching my videos about a guy, there's probably a reason why. He's putting himself in a position to lose you. If he's going days without talking to you, if he's pulling away, if he's acting different, if he's hot and cold, he's coming back and forth. If this is a guy you were talking to 3 months ago and you guys broke up and he's coming back again, assume it's for the assets. He put himself in a position to lose you. A guy who truly likes you would not put himself in a position to lose you, ladies, okay? So with that being said, these 3 things are things that I believe a woman should go off of. It's basically consistency, effort over time, and does he put himself in a position to lose you? A guy who truly likes you will not do that. It would naturally progress towards something a little more serious, and then he will ask you out, because if he doesn't, then he has an opportunity in losing you, right? So with that being said, ladies, I love you all. Take care. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just caress that give it a little kiss, the red button below. And if you want to get my course, Attraction Academy, that's down below. And peace.